Olá, muito bom dia. O meu nome é João Oliveira Diniz e sou responsável pela Kofax em Portugal. Gostaria de começar por agradecer à IDC a oportunidade de participar em mais um evento que certamente ajudará as empresas portuguesas a ultrapassar as dificuldades atuais. 2020 apresentou às empresas nacionais um conjunto de dificuldades que algumas delas já eram conhecidas. Certamente que do futuro vamos conseguir ultrapassar e sempre que fomos confrontados com dificuldades, e é exatamente nestes momentos de adversidade que as maiores oportunidades surgem. Acreditamos que 2021 vai ser acerca dessas oportunidades. Hoje, para nos apresentar as capacidades que nós acreditamos serem fundamentais para as empresas portuguesas ganharem neste novo normal, temos connosco o Chief Strategy Officer da Kofax, Huff. Hi Chris, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you for the kind introduction. Today, what we're going to talk about is how the future of work demands a digital business model. And what we're going to discuss really comes down to, for any company to be successful moving forward, they need to be differentiated, unique, and successful in not just recruiting talent, but also pleasing both their customers, employees, and shareholders. So how do they do that in the digital age? We've got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. The digitization market is the single largest opportunity of our generation. Automation, artificial intelligence, analytics, these are all technologies that are really core to the digitization market and theme. And COVID has done nothing more than just accelerate the existing macro theme around digital transformation. And the new business modes are less about experience or longevity in an industry, and it's more about rapid digital personalized services. And those companies and businesses that do the best job of providing rapid digital personalized services are going to start developing new business moats around their business. And this is what will set up for success as we move forward. But this trend in market should be considered the wind at our back. $7.4 trillion over the next 3 years will be spent in direct digital transformation investments. And so if we think of this market and the size and the potential, then we can understand that this wind at our back is going to be at our back for some time. There is no end in sight to the rapid and disruptive change that digital transformation is having on the global economy. The good news is that organizations that have digitally transformed are proving time and again that they're better suited to weather the storm, to thrive and leapfrog competitors. Fully 52% of Fortune 500 companies have vanished over the last 21 years because of digital disruption. They didn't keep up with the times. They no longer are relevant, and most of them are out of business. 52% of the Fortune 500 companies. Another big stat that lends weight to why digital transformation is paramount in a go-forward strategy for any company in any industry is that 91% of organizations say that customer experience was one, if not the most important portion of their digital business transformation effort. A fully 91%. You rarely see stats as high as 91%. All of this lends weight again to digitization creates that business resiliency, stability, and agility to handle change as we move forward. And so the foundation for a 21st century business model has to be that agility and resiliency. And to achieve this, companies must advance digitization across their business model to improve both the customer and the employee experience, while also delivering an absolutely delightful experience, whether it's a product or a service, to their market. Digital workflow transformation is the essence of moving fast. And because businesses must move fast, they're investing in key technologies, and we're going to start to uncover what those technologies are. But before we do, because I think all of us are very quick because we're innovators, we're leading change, we're very quick to jump to solutions. But I'm always one to take a strategic pause, as we like to say in the strategy world, and to understand the business problem we're trying to solve for, and then start to back into what we can use and what we should invest in to solve that problem. And so if we look at what the business problem is we're trying to solve for, McKinsey has put forward a study that really draws to what are the root causes of inhibiting digital transformation. So what are those key challenges? And they've pointed out 4 key challenges. The first one is there is a digital to paper journey that nobody wants to take. But those that are successful in one, implementing, two, scaling and sustaining digital transformation have taken. And that is the journey around digital to paper. The second one is around fragmented IT systems. So understanding that we have invested and innovated ourselves into such a degree of complexity in our architecture, in our business environment, that we have IT stacks all over the place, from ERPs to CRMs. And then we have RPA trying to bridge the gap, but it's very much fragmented. But most of our global transactions span these systems, and we use people as that connective tissue. So moving data between fragmented systems, we use people instead of using automation smartly. And so we're going to talk about how we can do that. But fragmented systems is the number 2 root cause of why companies struggle to scale and succeed with digital transformation. The third one is data exists in silos and often on paper. So data exists in these fragmented IT stacks. So the data is in silos, but the value of the data is when the data is brought together and insights can be gleaned from it. So we're going to talk about how we can create digital workflows where data is what is flowing in between these IT systems and inevitably to the different lines of business to support the decision making and then back out to the market. And the last one is manual processing. I think, unfortunately, throughout COVID, and it happens in every economic recession, and COVID, while it was a health crisis, did induce an economic recession, a downturn, is when companies have to lean their business models. And a lot of that leaning comes through reduction of the workforce. And so a lot of the manual processing is forced out during that moment. And the boards and the management teams make investments in automation to backfill that lost capacity, therefore shifting from manual processing to more automated processing. But during good times, I think we are reluctant to automate what is largely manual processing done by people. And so we're going to talk about how we actually move forward through solutions. So if we understand what the problem is we're solving for, and that was primarily what was on the last slide, then we can start to get to, okay, what do we need in terms of a solution to move forward? And I think the solution becomes apparent. And the solution basically begs for an integrated intelligent automation platform to really help overcome the root causes that we talked about on the previous slide, that whole challenge and obstacles on the path to digitization. So creating digital workflows to overcome these obstacles should be crafted using 3 key design principles. The first one is document intelligence. Document intelligence is really harnessing artificial intelligence and cognitive capture to unlock insights that are trapped in the unstructured data found in both paper and digital documents. The second key design principle is really focused on connected systems. And connected systems really gets to being able to bring together many business systems and data needed to operate at hyper automation speed, which is what every business is aiming for right now, being able to automate very quickly and being able to scale that automation and sustain it. The third key design principle to take into consideration is around process orchestration. And this whole orchestration layer is becoming mainstream like it has never been before because of the complex environment that we have. So building an orchestration layer that helps the collaboration between person and machine and all of these disparate IT stacks is becoming the really critical piece in a go-forward strategy. And these are largely achieved through automating not just tasks and processes with individual point solutions, but bringing in integrated intelligent automation platforms that can provide document intelligence, connected systems, and process orchestration. And major global advisors such as Deloitte and McKinsey are starting to advise on what are the core technologies needed in an integrated intelligent automation platform. And so what Deloitte has done here is they have pulsed a global survey, and the respondents have essentially said robotic process automation, RPA, optical character recognition, OCR, and BPM, business process management, are the 3 core technologies to successfully scale automation and to sustain it in a scalable fashion. Now, if you look at McKinsey, they say the same top 3, but they prioritize it a little differently. They have BPM, where a majority of the respondents, 57% of the respondents, said BPM was key to them being able to scale intelligent automation and drive enterprise value. The next in the McKinsey study, it was robotic process automation. And third was optical or image recognition. So I think we start to draw out what the critical mass is around the technologies that can really help businesses scale. So regardless of where one starts, whether it's robotic process automation, business process management, or optical character recognition, the most common path forward involves expanding into a combination of these three technologies. And there's another key theme along with the technologies, and that is how can the technologies best be adopted to support one, maximum of achievement of ROI in the shortest amount of time possible, and sustainable automation at scale. And that macro trend that has emerged over the last, I would say about 5 years, has been this whole citizen developer cohort. So a quick orientation here, CIO at the top, line of business. On the y-axis, you have complexity of code. And on the x-axis, you have number of applications. What you start to see here is that professional developers, they can handle a high degree of complexity. So they can take in a raw set of technologies and build proprietary solutions off of a platform. But line of business, whether it's HR, human resources, or financial management, they need more drag and drop type, more intuitive software because they know their business processes and how it can optimally be automated, but they don't know how to do the automation. But RPA has really served as this bridge to AI because what it's done in the very drag and drop fashion by which RPA robots can be built is they have enabled the citizen developer workforce, which is global, to start to get acclimated to building solutions using technologies, automated solutions using technologies. So for the last 5-7 years, you've had citizen developers really starting to upskill. And now they're ready for like the next technology on this platform. And this is when we get into being able now via a drag and drop manner in which to build automations, start to do not just robotic process automation, but build workflows. And this is where it really starts to get interesting because now you have line of business leaders that can build very, very robust automation solutions using workflow engines that can really span not just simple rules-based processes, but now more complex, higher value. And this is where you really start to drive value. And this is the path that we've personally taken here at Kofax, is that we provide a single integrated intelligent automation platform to our customers. And we do it with our own technology. So we have our own business process management, optical character recognition, and RPA, robotic process automation, but we also bring analytics to really handle not just the ability to handle all of the document intelligence, so ingesting that complex unstructured data that needs to be transformed into structured formatted data. So that way we can feed solutions like robotic process automation to begin to connect systems, but it's understanding that to really orchestrate across this fragmented environment, you need to create digital workflows that account not just for the fragmented IT stacks, but also for the exception handling that most call in the RPA world, where humans need to come in and adjudicate. Humans need to come in and take action, make decisions on a case or a transaction. And so how you hand off that work can be built out in a workflow, work queues, generate forms, all of the things that we sort of take for granted when things just simply work. And so digital workflow transformation removes all of this friction and just allows things to flow smoothly throughout the enterprise from back office all the way to front office. So back office is usually employee productivity, front office more customer touch points, but transactions span back office to front office, but most automated solutions play in either one or the other, back office or front office. Digital workflow transformation is all about connecting the back office to front office. So it is improving the total cost of ownership, but it's also improving the experience for the employee and for the customer. But any platform is incomplete without an ecosystem around the platform. If you go back to 2007 and you take a look at the top 10 most valuable companies by market capitalization, market cap, only 1 out of the top 10 was a platform and ecosystem company. Fast forward to 2021, 9 out of the top 10 most valuable companies in the world based on market capitalization are platform and ecosystem companies. And the reason is that they bring a tremendous amount of depth within their existing platform, but they also bring an ecosystem of partners that allow you to connect. So that way you can have this frictionless experience across a range of complexity, all the way from simple use cases to very, very complex use cases. And so the partners within the ecosystem play very nicely together, and they fill in gaps where the core platform may not be as deep. And so this is the real value. So any platform company that doesn't speak highly or doesn't have a strong ecosystem, you probably need to call that out, because that's what's really going to remove friction from your environment. And a quick example of this is Kofax. While we have our own robotic process automation on our platform, we have chosen to integrate with the other top 3 RPA vendors, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. All 3 of those companies perform phenomenally well in RPA-only use cases. But most use cases, especially those medium and higher complexity use cases, involve a level of unstructured data that RPA simply was never built to handle. And so forming an alliance with Kofax around how we can ingest the data and then transform that unstructured into structured, feed it to the RPA robots so that way they can perform their rules-based task automation. And when they exceed task automation into a higher degree of complexity around process automation or human in the loop requirements, exception handling, it calls back out to our core platform, which is Kofax Total Agility, to then begin to coordinate those human involvements by creating digital workflows. And so this is the symbiotic relationship that automation companies need to have in order to deliver for the customer. And so all of the logos that you see up here, Kofax and the 3 other RPA companies have gotten together with the good of our customer in mind. Another example of how customers are really forward-leaning and thinking through how digital workflow transformation can really help them is UBS is a great example. So UBS, very large financial institution, started with RPA, but very quickly realized that they needed to reinforce RPA with additional rigor and discipline via digital workflows. Now, UBS was also undergoing a strategic transformation, not just in the technology realm, but also a reorganization where they were converging their document imaging group with their RPA Center of Excellence to develop an automation center of excellence. And so you can see with the convergence of people and now with the convergence of technologies on one platform where we have RPA as well as the document intelligence to create digital workflows, all of a sudden they're able to realize a tremendous amount of efficiencies as they converge their people into a more global center of excellence to start to lay out what is the foundation for a very scalable and sustainable scalable platform moving forward. So as we move forward, I see boards and management teams focused on 6 key areas. The first is digital workforce management. This assumes that both employees, people, and solutions need to work together to drive value, 1, internally, efficiencies, and 2, externally, improving customer experiences. But it's more than just building, it's about managing. And so building a solution is one thing, managing that and governing that solution is another. So digital workforce management is really starting to come around. User experience is the second area. Again, the citizen developer cadre, Gartner is identifying the citizen developer cadre as outnumbering the professional developers by 4x by 2023, which is right around the corner. So citizen developers will absolutely power intelligent automation forward. The next is embedded artificial intelligence. Core platforms must focus on something deep. For Kofax, it's around document intelligence. Anything involving paper-based or digital documents and taking those flat files, those images, that unstructured data, and transforming it into structured, so that way it's machine readable and we can start to move it throughout the enterprise. That's our depth. However, we are openly architected to use third-party AI, but embedded AI is absolutely critical when looking for an integrated intelligent automation platform. The next one is around accelerating automation ROI. Process discovery, task mining, process mining, all of those capabilities are really starting to play a prominent role because it's about not just identifying good fit candidates that should be automated using intelligent automation, but how do we start to prioritize to get the greatest ROI? And so accelerating automation via use case discovery, process discovery, task mining, and process mining is a key component in going forward. The next is cloud choice. We're very proud at Kofax that we have a cloud choice strategy, which allows our customers to deploy our integrated intelligent automation platform on the cloud of their choice, whether it's private or public. And if it's public, doesn't matter. It's any cloud service provider. And we largely use this through containerization. So think Docker, Google Kubernetes, but cloud choice is absolutely going to be critical. The hybrid multi-cloud environment is the future. Next is platform ecosystem. We talked about this. Any platform is only as good as its ecosystem. And so it's more than just the platform of technologies, but it's also the ecosystem that the platform company has built around to ensure that they put the customer first and foremost. And with that, I know that every day your organization is laser focused on building a better tomorrow. Kofax Intelligent Automation, that's our brand promise, is to help our customers work like tomorrow today. So I appreciate your time and wish you the best as you advance your organization's digital transformation strategy. Thank you.